Okay, so the next topic, it's one of our recurring bits. It might take a little bit longer, and it's something we've more or less talked about in the past, but I want to be a little more specific. Which is better, Marvel or DC video games? And I was thinking like from a genre to not over all encompassing.
Okay.
I kind of feel like when you hear that question, your mind usually might say like, well, obviously Marvel. But that's when I started breaking it down genre per genre, and I was like, it might be closer than you think. So starting with something we're very familiar with, like Go fighting games.
All right.
To me, DC wins out with Injustice. And obviously I know Marvel versus Capcom, widely popular, but
Right.
even you've played the Injustice game.
Yeah, they're excellent.
Yeah, so is there any debate that DC wins that simply because of that game alone?
I think they're better games overall.
Yeah, like, once again,
And I love me some Marvel vs. Capcom, but then again, that's a Capcom-based thing that they threw Marvel characters onto.
exactly.
Like, what was that? Wasn't Children? Maybe it was Children of the Atom.
Children of the Atom was the first one.
That was like the actual Marvel fighting game that they had on the PS1. That was like okay.
Yeah, that was kind of the one that sparked before like Capcom versus Marvel.
Oh, was that the one? I was thinking of the one that was like the 3D-ish.
Oh,
the
no, that was
2.5D.
the X-Men Mutant Academy.
Oh, that's
which
what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I liked it. A lot of people shit on it because it was that atypical PS1 era 3D
2.5D.
controls.
Yeah.
It was rough, but I enjoyed the shit out of it because you got to do something. And as we played the older ones, really, like, there was that one, and I can't remember. Was it just called Justice League? Remember the one?
Oh yeah, on SNES and Genesis. Yeah.
Were there any
Justice League Task Force.
Yeah, was there any Marvel games like that from that era?
At the time, not that I can think of.
That's what I'm like trying to think, and I'm pretty sure they just didn't exist. Like, Marvel fighting games really don't.
Marvel was all about the side-scrolling, like either beat 'em up games or, well, mostly beat 'em ups, really.
Which, you know, okay,
But they were really good. You had like the X-Men ones, which were hit or miss. You had the Spider-Man ones, which were hit and miss. You had the Punisher one that people seem to love a lot, but it's man expensive, so I'm not going to get that.
But hon, keep going genre. Let's say just arcade. Keep it to that. To me, there's no doubt Marvel wins that.
Arcade Marvel wins.
X-Men, Avengers, Punisher, like all of them,
Yeah.
they win. Even side-scrolling.
I can't really think of a Batman arcade game.
There were, but they weren't as well known.
Right. Like the first one I think of is that Batmobile game we have now.
Yeah.
But like the Superman one we played and reviewed, it was okay.
It was fine. Like, yeah, it was fine. But to me, Marvel wins that. Side-scrolling in general, like you have the Batman ones from the Super NES and Sega Genesis.
Right.
Which were really good.
And the NES ones were good.
Yeah, but, yeah, no, that is true. But I still think, like, for variety's sake and just the sheer number.
Yeah, I mean, then you have like the NES Superman one bringing it down. But some of the Superman 16-bit games are pretty good for the side scrollers. Some were okay. Like straight up Superman sucked, but Death of Superman was okay.
So if you had, I would say from a console standpoint, if you're going side scrolling,
I think side scroller Marvel still wins.
Yeah, or even I would be willing to say, at best, a tie.
Okay,
because the Batman ones on the NES, you're right, they are so good.
Yeah.
If you go individual games, like most of the things we're about to say, I think the Batman games always kind of help them elevate just a little bit.
Yeah, they do. It's not like you really had like you didn't really have other characters like for DC, especially back 16-bit.
For sure.
It was only Batman and Superman.
You never had a Flash. Well, you might have had some Flash games, but yeah, it was mostly Batman, Superman.
There was like a Flash Game Boy game.
But yeah, you had Spider-Man, X-Men, Hulk, Punisher.
Hulk's a bringer downer.
Avengers.
Captain America and Avengers, yeah.
Yeah, like, so you had...
Which is also an arcade game, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. So then you go on to... I don't even know what you would call it. But think like...
More open worldy games?
Yeah, so you got like the Batman Arkham games, which
are
phenomenal.
Those are top notch.
But then also, like, I don't know if you ever had a chance to play the, like, X-Men Wolverine game.
I hear that one's really good.
That's really
I never got to play that.
The Deadpool game is actually really fun. So, I would still say the Batman ones, like, they kind of
Yeah, but then you also have, like, Superman Returns, which we liked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And even the Superman Xbox game.
But you could also throw in Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
Hulk Ultimate Destruction was one of my favorites.
And I don't know would you throw that Punisher game as open world? Like in the sense of the argument, because what else are you going to compare it to?
That's just like, yeah, that's a weird one on its own. Like third person action
shooter. I would almost have to I would just say, if you want to.
I would say that would almost be that would almost be more towards like Arkham Asylum, where Arkham City became more open world sandboxy.
What if we just say, for the sake of the argument, 3D action games?
Okay.
Yeah, so that way you can include Punisher, Wolverine, Deadpool, all those. The question is, and the only way I think it tips in Marvel's favor, do you throw the Legends game?
I was about to ask where you throw Legends and Avengers.
That's so unique, because if you do team-based games, obviously Marvel wins, because you had that like 1 or 2 Justice League games and that one bombed. I never actually played it. Remember that one I was trying to get you to get? I was like, hey, this one, it got terrible reviews. It was like the Justice League team-based game. It came out like around the time we were in college.
I can't remember, because I know there was a Justice League Game Boy Advance game that I think was mainly based around the Flash that was supposed to be pretty good. But I can't remember this one.
Let me look it up. But so that's where, if you did include those games,
Justice League Heroes, I vaguely remember that. Did that actually come out?
It did, and it got some rough reviews.
I remember that getting kind of torched to hell.
So I guess my question is, the Arkham games, especially the early ones, to me, like they were like, holy shit, like that's the best Batman game. It hit it so well. But once again, if you go variety of styles, you get that Wolverine game, which is just crazy fun. You get the Punisher one, which is super violent.
Right.
You get the Deadpool one, which is funny, but actually a really fun game, kind of almost like a Devil May Cry.
You get the Spider-Man games like you have now.
That new Spider-Man game, which
or the Spider-Man 1 and 2 from the GameCube era.
That's where I'm like, is it a tie, or do you give it to Marvel because of variety?
Right, what about Iron Man?
That's a game I still don't know how...
Or those bad Thor games that came out then.
And even a Captain America. I still don't know how they're coming out with an Iron Man VR game for PS4. Iron Man should be such an easy game to make a good game for. How the fuck have they not done that yet? I just don't get it. Like,
I think they're overcomplicating it. Just make it a fucking...
That's what I mean.
Make it a shmup.
Something to that effect. If the VR works out and like it looks like you're in a suit, I can imagine that being pretty fun.
Right.
But then you have to rely on everyone having VR, which not everyone's there yet.
Right.
I'm trying to think, like, in that case, the Batman games are so good, but because of variety, I might have to say Marvel.
Yeah, because, I mean, there was that awful Aquaman game on the GameCube.
And as we said, we do like the 2 big open world Superman games.
Yeah, they were good.
They were fine.
Yeah.
But if you throw in Hulk Ultimate Destruct, like...
Yeah, I mean, Hulk Ultimate... yeah, and then, like, the game based on the Hulk and then the other Hulk movies, which kind of copied it, but they were okay.
But, man, you throw in Ultimate Alliance, to me, holy shit.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
And so if you kept it to individual characters... I haven't played the newest Spider-Man, but man, Spider-Man games I think could rival
Spider-Man games. Spider-Man games probably can rival Batman in the overall.
I'll probably have to give it to Marvel strictly because the variety you have and how many different characters. Because of Wolverine, because of Deadpool, because of Punisher, give it to them. You
can definitely get a lot more good games out of a lot more characters as we've gotten.
So I'm trying to think. And then you could do the MMO games, but they're, I would say, a wash.
Yeah, I mean, Or the Justice League or the DC one was here. DC
was, I think, a little more popular.
That was definitely more popular. I can't even remember the Marvel one. Marvel didn't.
They did, yeah. But it was basically...
DC lasted a while.
It did. But that was also at the height of, I think, MMO mania. So.
And it kind of copied City of Heroes, too, which had already been out for a while.
So, yeah... I'm trying to think, is there any genres we're obviously missing?
Because there's like no real unless you count the Punisher one in the NES, like no real first-person shooter ones.
Well, they did have the Punisher for PS3, which is no longer available anymore, which was more of a arena shooter, but it was an exclusive for PS3. You can't get it anymore. It sucks, but I'm trying to think. Yeah, there's no other first-person shooters. Well, no, I'm sorry. Batman Impostors, Gotham City Impostors.
Oh, yeah,
Super fun, Call of Duty-ish, but like very jokey. So I guess from that standpoint, you got to give that to DC.
Yeah, that was almost weirdly like the Team Fortressy kind of.
It was yeah, that game is still fun as shit. I love playing that. What else do we have?
I'm having a hard time trying to think other genres.
Because I mean, honestly, yeah, there's not like racing games.
I was about to say racing games. It's not like you really have them. Obviously, you don't really have superhero sports games.
Yeah.
RPGs? Do you really have superhero RPGs besides the MMOs we talked about?
Not really. So, I think Marvel wins at the end.
Yeah, I might have to go with Marvel.
DC is, I think, I'm the point of this was, I think DC's closer in the picture than people probably give credit when you break down the way we just did.
Right. You just got to go deep into like the libraries of all the heroes.
It's also very Batman heavy. The only reason
it's very Batman heavy. Like there's some good Superman ones, but it's very Batman heavy.
Yeah. So sound off below. Let us know what you guys think. If you think we're completely crazy or you just basically agree with us.
Yeah.
Because we're right.